What is a fabric key fob or wristlet? A fabric key fob or wristlet is a handmade accessory used to hold keys. It's essentially a sturdy strip of sewn fabric with specialized metal hardware at one end to attach a key ring. Key fob, typically a shorter length of fabric. Wristlet, a longer version designed to slip over the user's wrist, making keys easier to carry or locate. Types of fabric key fobs. The three descriptions you provided explain variations based on how the fabric strip itself is constructed. 1. Classic fabric key, fob, cross wristlet. This is the standard, most straightforward type. Construction. It's made from a single strip of fabric that is sewn into a loop or strip. Structure. It's often reinforced with fusible fleece or interfacing, a thin material you iron on, to give the fabric body, structure, and a comfortable feel. Finish. The process is completed by securing a key fob hardware clamp, the metal piece, to the end of the fabric strip, to which a keyring is attached. 2. Quilted key fob. This variation adds texture and a more padded feel to the classic design. Construction. The fabric strip is prepared, and then lines of stitching, the quilting, are added all the way across the strip. Look and feel. This stitching creates a puffy, textured, quilted appearance, and a slightly more padded feel than the simple classic version. Assembly. Once quilted, it follows the same final steps as the classic fob, being finished with the key fob hardware and key ring. 3. Fabric scrap patchwork, key fob. This version is defined by the creative use of leftover materials. Construction. Instead of using one continuous piece of fabric, small complementary pieces of fabric scraps are sewn together first. Look and feel. This technique results in a unique patchwork strip where different fabrics, colors, or patterns are visible. Assembly. Once the patchwork strip is created, it is treated like the fabric strip in the classic key fob. It's reinforced, sewn, and finished with the standard key fob hardware. 1. No-sew fabric strip keychain. This is the simplest and fastest method, perfect for beginners or when you need a quick craft. How it works. Instead of a needle and thread, you use an adhesive to create a neat, durable strap. The process. Cut a strip of fabric to your desired width and length. Remember, it will be folded. Apply fabric glue, like Aleene's tacky glue or specialized fabric glue, or iron-on interfacing, like fusible webbing or heat and bond, along the long edges. Fold the strip over itself, pressing the edges firmly together to secure the glue, or ironing the strip to activate the interfacing. This creates a strong, flat strap. Attach a clasp. Once dry-cooled, you can simply loop one end of the strip through a swivel clasp or keyring and glue tuck the end securely, or use a key fob hardware piece with pliers to crimp onto the end of the fabric. 2. Stuffed fabric plush keychain. This method creates a cute three-dimensional pillow-like keychain and involves basic hand or machine sewing. How it works. You sew two fabric pieces together, stuff them, and close the opening, much like making a small doll or plush toy. The process. Cut shapes. Cut two identical pieces of fabric into a fun shape, heart, star, cloud, animal, etc. Sew. Place the two pieces of fabric right sides together so the pattern is on the inside. Sew almost all the way around the shape, leaving a small straight edge unstitched. This is the gap. Turn. Carefully reach into the gap and pull the fabric through, turning the piece right side out. The raw seams are now hidden inside. Stuff. Use a small tool, like a chopstick or pencil eraser, to gently push cotton batting or polyfill into the shape until it's as plump as you want. Close. Stitch the gap closed using a neat method like a ladder stitch or slip stitch to hide the seam. Before fully closing it, make sure to stitch a ribbon loop into the top of the shape. Attach keyring. Slide a keyring onto the ribbon loop. 3. Braided fabric keychain. This is an excellent way to upcycle old clothing and create a sturdy, textured keychain with a handmade, boho, or rustic feel. How it works. You create a durable, rope-like structure by tightly interweaving strips of fabric. The process: cut strips. Cut 3 or more long strips of fabric. Using stretchy fabric like old t-shirts, jersey knit, or sturdy denim from old jeans works great. The fabric will curl at the edges when stretched, creating a more finished look. Anchor. One end. Tie the strips together in a tight knot at one end. This knot will be the top of your braid where the keyring attaches. Braid. Tightly braid the strips together until the keychain is your desired length. Secure the end. You have a few options to finish the end. Knot and stitch. Tie the strips in a final tight knot and secure it with a few hidden stitches. Key fob. Clasp. Use a specialized key fob hardware clamp, the same kind used in the no-sew method, and pliers to crimp it over all the fabric ends, giving it a very professional finish. Attach keyring. Loop a keyring through the top knot or the hardware clasp.
Embroidered fabric keychain. This is a delicate and personalized project focused on miniature textile art. Core concept: a small piece of fabric becomes a tiny canvas for hand embroidery. Process overview: cut. A simple shape, rectangle or circle, is cut from your main fabric. Embroider. A miniature design, a small flower, your initial, a tiny geometric pattern, etc., is carefully stitched onto the fabric. This is the main artistic focus. Backing. A piece of felt or contrasting fabric is placed behind the embroidered piece. This covers the messy knots, stitches on the back, and adds stability. Finish. The edges are sewn together, either by hand or machine, and a loop is created attached to hold the keyring hardware. Key outcome: a charming, unique, and highly customizable keychain that works well as a personalized gift. It often has a softer, more homemade aesthetic. Denim upcycle keychain. This project focuses on repurposing a durable material for a rugged, practical accessory. Core concept: taking advantage of the strength and texture of old denim jeans to create a long-lasting key holder. Process. Overview. Source: you'll use fabric strips or pieces from an old pair of jeans, making it an eco-friendly upcycling project. Construction. Sewn. The classic method is sewing the denim into a long strip and folding it into a key fob shape, which is a sturdy loop that attaches to the keyring. Construction. No sew. Because denim doesn't fray excessively and is thick, you can often cut out shapes, like a simple teddy bear, star, or square, and use fabric glue or grommets to attach the keyring without any sewing. Key outcome: a sturdy, durable, and casual keychain with a classic texture. It's often a quicker and more beginner-friendly project, especially if you choose a no-sew option. Both options are great ways to make use of fabric scraps and create a useful item, but the embroidered one prioritizes artistry, while the denim one prioritizes durability and